The African Union of Broadcasting AUB and the Cameroon Radio Television CRTV present Jongo Hub Free Spirited. Unemployment is a serious problem in the Central African nation, Cameroon. With a population of 25 million inhabitants, the country's unemployment rate is about 4.3%. Youths aged between 18 and 35 are the hardest hit. But there is a development that may reduce the adverse effects on young people. The digital revolution is enabling many young people in Cameroon to access and slowly master technology. Technology startups created and owned by young people are consequently springing up by the day. One of them is called Jongo Hub. It is an incubator for young Turk entrepreneurs. It is all about new and innovative ways of solving problems. This is creating job opportunities for many young, enthusiastic and out-of-the-box thinking Cameroonians. This tech incubator is found in the southwest region of Cameroon. The region is home to one of the country's leading universities and many other educational institutions. Jongo in Bakweri language meaning eagle. The idea behind the choice of this name is the eagle as a symbol of freedom. For the young creators of Jongo Hub, the name is an invitation to free thinking by game changers who are able to bring about disruptive moral technological innovation. For the close to 30 youths who make up Jongo Hub, this is a platform for transformational co-creation. This is the brainchild of Ashu Mukate, founder and CEO. Motivation, initiative, and goal are cardinal points as we follow Ashu Mukate on this entrepreneurial journey.
So Jongo Hub, like I said, is an enterprise, an entrepreneurship development social enterprise. We are actually focused on unleashing innovation for transformation. We are actually raising young entrepreneurs and entrepreneurial ventures for impact. If we could cut it short, we are an impact-driven social enterprise.
After leaving the university in 2016 with a degree in sociology and anthropology, I was deeply passionate about working with people, helping people to interact better in society. At the time, I was also managing a restaurant that I co-founded with Mr. Mukate Ashuari Kuchina Restaurant. And due to crisis in our country, the restaurant had to close. Now, when the restaurant closed, we felt the need to provide an avenue where young people could gain employable skills, because we realized that there was a major problem of unemployment in our community, in our country, and in our continent as a whole. You know, many people leave school and they don't have jobs, and the reason is because they don't gain the kind of skills that will warrant them to get jobs from the various institutions that they go to. So that is where Jongo Hub began. Jongo Hub began in 2016, and it was an avenue where we could interact, we could work with young people and empower them with skills, technological skills like graphic designs, web development, serigraphy, to help them become employable and make a better future for themselves.
I'm Baye Frida Ebai, corporate communication specialist for Jongo Hub, to encourage the youth to involve more in IT, business creation. We assist them with business plans, and we get credible, investable projects, and we link them up with credible investors through the Jongo Creative Mall. That is the Jongo Creative Mall. At the Jongo Creative Mall, we look for example, fashion designers, youths or people with skills in IT and they don't have the money to deliver this their knowledge to the market. So we hook them up with investors. We work with several non-governmental organizations and civil societies, especially the ones dealing with women. Like now we have the IDP, that's the Internally Displaced Women Skill Acquisition Center in Limbe. And Jongo Hub is the leader in this skill center. Through Jongo Hub, we've been able to identify a few internally displaced women, and Jongo Hub is going to equip them with skills in social media marketing, and other skills, so that they can now be able to acquire these skills and they'll be able to take care of themselves.
Well, I'm John Ita, Executive Director of Jongo Hub. We are, as you can see behind me, this is Jongo Hub, the facility in which we are right now. Jongo Hub is an incubator, the cradle of innovation in the Silicon Mountain community, where startups come and get some business development support. You know, we provide these services because we believe it's our duty to support the startups that come to our space, because we think it's their right to have this support from us, and as duty bearers of this responsibility to help the startups, you know, develop their businesses, their solutions in a way that can permit them to scale, in a way that can permit them to grow. Yeah.
I'm Owi Bonley Velon. I'm a serigrapher. I have a degree in political science, second class. I'm a trainer. I train in a prison project. I train prisoners there how to print and design. As well as here in Jongo Hub, I do the same. I've been doing this for as far back as when I was in Form 3. But I got professional just when I got admission into the university, because I was working alongside going to school. So I'm here now. I do serigraphy for a living, and it's supporting me a great deal. And I'm also looking forward to impact other young people's life, young people like of my age. Then in the prison, I teach people who are more older than myself, because I know it's something that can go a long way to assist people. I got in contact with Jongo Hub as a result of probably my works. So I'm still learning and growing in the art of serigraphy. It's a very broad and wide field. It has a lot of branches. There's a lot of pleasure in it because I like the art to young people. It's not only about going to school and getting a white-collar job. Like I made mention earlier, I have a degree in political science, a second-class degree in political science. It's not the fact that Cameroon does not offer, or the government does not offer opportunity for young people. Just look within you. There's always a way out.
I'm called Fayang Pamela. I'm a nurse by profession. Well, I just completed from school, and you know, with the situation in the country, the crisis in the country, I intended applying with the Cameroon Baptist Convention, but the crisis had affected them so badly that they could not employ new workers. So that's how I found myself here. I just came here to learn the process of bookmaking, you know, and add it up to my nursing skills. So that's how I found myself. So far I've been here for a month. So I've learned the process of bookmaking from scratch. That is from the printing to the various processes like picking, the knocking process, and also how to make the book covers, then compile them into a complete book. So I think with that knowledge, If I happen to find myself somewhere, apart from my nursing, I can also see, I'll also have something to say as far as making is concerned. Like I had no idea about the bookmaking process. So especially, okay, there's something about the back cover, so about the hard covers of the book. So I did not really, I mean, I could see books, but I don't know how they come out with those things. So when I got to know how to, you know, how to do that, I mean, with every material and everything, how to do that, I found it was so interesting. Something I never thought of. I did not know. I mean, with all the materials they use, I did not know that that's what they use in making all those things. If I happen to find myself somewhere in a bookmaking, I mean, in a documentary, in a bookmaking, I will have something to contribute. I'll have something to say as far as book making process is concerned. Well, to my fellow girls, my friends, what I would like to tell them is, okay, let me take for instance, just like some of my colleagues, some of my friends in which we completed together, we don't have anything doing. I would like to tell them it's not just about getting something to do with respect to your field. It's not just about getting something with respect to your field. So you can get so many skills of which tomorrow is going to help you. Knowledge is never a waste. Yeah, knowledge is never a waste. So they can get themselves involved in, you know, in hubs like this, of which is going to help them tomorrow.
Okay, my name is Isaac Lyonga. I'm from Cameroon, precisely in Boya. And now I'm working here at Jongo Hub. Well, I'm into the book. I'm into the book. I'm into like printing of books and all the compiling and making of books. So I got here at Jongo Hub to like do some book productions. Well, I saw Jongo Hub and the innovation, the innovation, yeah, all about innovation. So I just said, okay, I have this little skill. I just want to like beef it up. So that made me come to Jongo Hub, yeah, so that at least I can gain some more skills. Apart from the printing, I can gain some more skills like graphic designing and all the. Well, Jongo Hub has helped me in so many ways. Jongo Hub has helped me in so many ways. Like even my skills in producing books, I didn't know some aspects in it, so I had to gain some skills here again. And even in graphic designing, I didn't know graphic designing, so but now I know a little bit of it. So and I'm still hoping to like get more from Jongo Hub.
There are different channels of communication that we use. We have the traditional, which is the radio, and the television. Though expensive, we manage to use some of them. But the social media platforms are less expensive. And now nearly everyone has a phone. So through WhatsApp messages, which is easier and cheaper. So that channel of communication is the most effective channel of communication we use now at Jongo Hub to get to our platform, to those people that we really need to work with, our stakeholders, that's our investors, and the people who really need our help.
So in our effort to promote youth entrepreneurship, we have set ourselves an objective that by 2025, we should have had an impact on at least 1,000 young entrepreneurs in Cameroon and across the continent by 2025, providing them the different kinds of services that we provide at Jongo Hub. We are looking at creating that kind of impact whereby these young entrepreneurs will be mentored to do the same wherever they are, to also keep creating and helping other people to go through that very system that very system of apprenticeship, you know, among their various peers. So it's a kind of, we are trying to equip them to become peer educators in the area of entrepreneurship development while they are also carrying out their venture.
Okay, I'm Kumesi Allen from the northwest region of Cameroon, and in Boya precisely. Okay, after the advanced level, I was to go to the university, but the way things are not actually stable. So I decided to look for a place where I could learn creative skills. So with that, I actually met an aunt, Auntie Doris, who directed me here, because he actually said, come here, I'm going to be exposed to many skills, like to learn many things. And I also explained to her that I like creative things that I can actually use my hands to do work of art. So she actually directed me here, so that's how I actually find myself here. My first, it was actually interesting because coming here, I never knew I'll be exposed to, especially learning how to do books and the rest. So my first year was actually a nice experience, and with that zeal, I actually desire to continue. If there is any other thing that I have to say, I would just say Jongo Hub is actually a nice place, because here you are exposed to many things. You are not actually limited. Because my first day, when I actually met the owner of the place, I just said I'm interested in art, that's drawing, and he said, yeah, you are not, that they don't limit people here, that there are many other things that you can actually do, not actually art. That's how he exposed me to other stuff like graphic designing and others. So it's actually a nice place, a place to be, a place to acquire skills.
It's a very sustainable project, very sustainable initiative. You know, the founder first is a visionary. He's a young man who is focused, and he has a lot of ideas, a lot of initiative for youth, for Africans, and even people out of Africa. He has a mission to make kings and queens from Africa, so that we can stand on the same platform with our peers from Europe and America, and we can hit our chest that with Jongo Hub, we can compete with them effectively, and we can win.
If you come to Jongo Hub, you're always going to find different groups of people of different walks of life doing different things. We are accommodating, for example, developers, communities, who are young persons focused on technology, who are, for example, learning how to code. We collaborate with other organizations and other startups around. For example, we collaborate with New Generation Technology for an ICT for Kids program every holiday, where kids actually come to learn how to code applications, develop games, develop cartoons, and stuff like that. We are just focused on revamping the creative potentials of Africans. And we don't want to leave anyone behind, even with kids. We also have programs with women, and where we help these women also achieve their organizational goals, their advocacy goals. We have worked, for example, with the Southwest and Northwest Women task force that are really focused on a peaceful mitigation of the mediation in the Anglophone crisis. We are helping them build on their communication strategies. We are helping them develop their programs and their plans as well. So we are creating this kind of impact in just several areas, and we are not letting any one area. We just feel that in every aspect, we must be able to bring about innovation and an impact-focused venture.
So my challenges growing up as a young man in Cameroon, from my very tender age when I was still very young, I had this dogma. We all have the dogma of going to school, from primary school to secondary school, obtaining a degree. So I just had that idea. There was actually no plan. I never sat once in my life and said, but as I'm doing this degree, what am I going to do after that? I just had this idea that I would just have to go to school, have to attend the ordinary level, have an advanced level, had a degree. So as time went on, actually my final year having this degree, when I had this exposure to go out into the open world and say, okay, now Enoch, you are a degree holder. What do you have to show for? That's when I sat back and realized in my life that no, the right way, the only way I can actually fend for myself, because I know the only way in this country that I find out as a youth, there's only one way. You either go to school and then you go and apply for government concourse, or you rely on going to foreign countries, you hope on visas, and those are all far-fetched opportunities that is not available for everybody. I even call it luck. So that I could not rely my future on that. I had to look my future on a foreseeable circumstance, something I could attain, I could achieve in a reasonable period of time. So I realized that the best way for me to actually fend for myself is actually having a skill, something I can produce to the world, something that people may get, something that people have from me, something I can offer to the world. So I realized that skill is that's what can enable me in Cameroon. Because going the other way, the way of concours and all those stuff, there are corruption and all those things, they contribute to it. So I could not actually see myself following that path. And even my education, I thought after a while that it's not necessary again anymore for me to actually pursue masters and all those PhDs. When I know that after that I still have to, what I've seen others having masters and even double masters, and still stay home for close to 7 years and having nothing to offer. I've actually learned for this short period of time, as you earlier saw me, we're doing printing on t-shirts, to print on t-shirts for a command. I've done book covers. I've done a complete process on books. At least for now, I can confirm that I can produce a book of my own. I can sit on my own in my own private corner and make you a book and present to you. Now ongoing, I'm on a program. I already started it to do Photoshop and graphic designing. That's the 3 programs I have now for this particular, from now to January. I'll give myself a skill from now to January to be able to attain all these objectives. My main aim is to attain as much skill as I want, then I sit down and then think on how I'm going to execute them. From my own view, I realize that skill is what is going to pay. In Cameroon especially, with all due to the insecurities and everything. If you rely yourself on going to a business, opening a store and all those things with all the insecurities, it goes down, all those stuff, they slow this kind of movement. But having a skill that you offer to people daily, it pays a lot. It's something that, but it's very important to know that skill, it's not just having a skill that matters. It's also important to have the skill and also have an educational backing. That's for me to encourage others that have the skill and are just very low, because in life you tend to have a high level of respect when you also have a high level of education. So education first of all very important, but skill also pays. And that's, according to me, I've attained a certain level of education that is enough for me now to work now on my future. And my future depends on my skill.
I said we are focused here on building an ecosystem where people are not going to become government dependent. In our approach, it's true that we may need government support, but we're not running after it. We want to be able to change the mindset of young persons so we can become really self-reliant, and by that way we are contributing to the government's effort in building the nation. You know that the government cannot employ everybody. The government cannot employ half of the young persons in this country. That's going to be impossible. So we are focused on building a very vibrant private sector. A vibrant private sector that creates not just jobs, but decent jobs. That's what we are looking at. And I think goal 9 of the global goals is focused on that, the creation of decent jobs and employment across the world. So we want to be able to contribute towards that in enabling the private sector achieve that goal. And it's true, we have a lot of needs. we have a lot of needs. We are looking forward to partnerships that will enable us build a hub of our own an infrastructure of our own, an infrastructure that befits the dream we want to carry. Young entrepreneurs are finding it a little bit difficult to come and even adhere here, because sometimes we would want to ask them a little fee that sometimes they will not be able to afford. You know, reasons why our model even changed, and we're opening our doors and trying to do some other form of business in the creative art that permits us to raise the funds that we need to support them. You know, but just considering that we could have an infrastructure of our own, we are going to be able to advance further with our initiatives. You know, no landlord is going to come and knock at your door and ask for rent and you cannot afford it. But if you have an infrastructure of your own, you open up, many more young entrepreneurs are going to have opportunities, you know, to come and benefit from what we are offering.
My name is Solomon Ate. I am the founder and the publisher of Bantu Voices. Bantu Voices because I actually identified a need in my community where civil society organizations or NGOs lacked this communication support despite the great work they are doing in their communities, and we realized that no media organization was actually paying attention towards what they are doing. And so I realized that I could come out with a communication solution or come out with some kind of communication support to be able to support the efforts of NGOs working and developing their communities in Cameroon.
And what we are doing here is that we provide a co-creation space, first of all, which is an environment where young persons come and think through their business ideas, their social enterprise ideas, their civil society ideas, and beyond that, even their political ideas. We want young persons to be able to get into a session and many sessions where they can really co-create inventions and co-create with especially the people they want to serve. And in our co-creation space, we provide these young persons with tools, especially in design thinking, problem solving, and critical thinking, so that they could effectively build their ventures and ventures that can actually create impact. The second thing is that we provide a co-working space, because many young entrepreneurs, many young CEOs, many NGOs that are starting, many ventures that are starting, are always not in the position where they have an office space where they can come and sit down, do their work, welcome their guests, meet their clients, and so on and so forth. So we provide at Jongo Hub this co-working space with internet services that actually enable these young persons to begin to act and work as though already in a regular office of their own.
Yeah, so nowadays, Jongo Hub has been able to assist me when it comes to corporate communication, as in building the major content that we need, you know, for our record label, for the various artists that are signed under the label. So here at Jongo Hub, we do photo shoots. The graphic designs are on point, you know, because we have so many graphic designers here, you know. So they help the label in that aspect when it comes to branding and marketing. Yeah, that's a very important question, because Jongo Hub, like I said, is a cradle of innovation at Silicon Mountain, which means we have 3 phases. If you are someone who wants to build high income skills, we have a segment that deals with apprenticeship. We have a segment that deals with apprenticeship. That's one of our main models, where you can come and learn high income skills, be it graphic design, be it serigraphy, be it web development, and the likes. And we also give you the possibility to raise funding through our pitch days and demo days, where we invite VCs to come here, listen to you, pitch your solution, and if they're interested in that solution, if they see that solution has great profit potential, they may want to invest. Most of them do really invest, and that helps you as an entrepreneur to grow your startup beyond the leaps and bounds of Silicon Mountain. Yes, actually in 2019, towards the end of 2019, we thought it wise to replicate this model to other towns in Cameroon. So we started with Douala. Yes, so we have a facility in Douala, the Jongo Hub Douala branch is a franchise where we are growing it up to a certain level at this point. We are hoping to get to Yaoundé, Libreville, and other parts of Africa, but we are going gradually. So the idea is that we want to carry the Silicon Mountain ideology and philosophy that 100% of the problems we are facing in Cameroon and in Africa will be solved by Cameroonian entrepreneurs and African entrepreneurs. Because for many years we've been thinking that the solution will come from somewhere else. We've come to realize that the solutions are only going to come within ourselves and within the products that we believe can change Africa. Yeah.
Personally, in my life, Jongo Hub has had tremendous impact. Like I mentioned, Jongo Hub is about transforming people, helping people to gain skills and skills for transformation. And in helping these people to gain skills for transformation, I've been challenged because I personally need to gain these skills too. So working in Jongo Hub, I've been able to gain skills in graphic designs, and I'm a prolific graphic designer right now. Also, I've been able to gain skills in serigraphy and digital marketing, which are all things that I came across just because I opened up to Jongo Hub.
I think that my approach has to do with the African person who has lost his identity, who has lost his personality and self-worth. We, like I said, in the past, we found that the African kings and queens were all innovators. They had a sense of self-worth, a sense of independence, a sense of freedom. And in our current generation, this sense of freedom is all lost. This sense of self-worth is all lost. And in Jongo Hub, we are focused, first of all, on rebranding this identity, this identity of young Africans, so they can regain that self-confidence, they can regain their creative confidence and begin to recreate all over again like our former African kings and queens did. Talking about the day-to-day activities, how Jongo Hub is run, I think the first thing is I will try to describe the structure under which we operate. I began by saying that we run a co-creation space and a co-working space, which is basically the core of the hub. In our co-creation space, we have civil society activists who join us, we have young entrepreneurs, we have techies, we have bloggers, we have just people of a variety of fields who come together on a daily basis. We actually have a conference room where these people meet and organize their co-creation sessions, and where we often have our staff facilitate their co-creation sessions. Whether they are creating a political strategy, or they are creating a business strategy, or they are creating a product or a service in their businesses, we provide them a co-creation facilitator who helps them work on the idea and bring that idea to that place. For most of the startups, our focus is to help them become fundable, because we have partners and we are connecting them to investors. So the first focus is, when you have an idea, we want you to prototype that idea and build that idea to a place where that idea can be fundable. You have to test that idea in the market through our mentorship and through our accompaniment, and you can have some basic results that you can use to develop a business plan and a complete business strategy that could be presented and pitched before investors. So we always have regular activities where we empower these startups to be able to achieve that particular goal of becoming fundable and investable ventures. We actually have a criteria as well on how we measure these businesses, whether they are ripe for investment and funding. The next thing that we run at Jongo Hub on a day-to-day basis is actually what we call the Jongo Digital Print Studio, which is actually the major area for income generation for us. At the print studio, we provide just so many services which are related to branding, corporate branding, event branding, and print. We print on different surfaces. We provide serigraphy. We also provide serigraphy training and mentorship at the studio. And you can always find us printing t-shirts. You can always find us printing books for clients and different kinds of books, no matter how complex they are. We have been able to equip ourselves with what enables us to produce. I think that so far we are making a lot of thrives in our area, in our community. Many businesses are trusting us. They're trusting us mainly because we are branding for impact, we are printing for impact. Our printing services is not just for us to make money, but it is through this that we're able to keep this infrastructure. It is through this that we're able to afford to recruit these young entrepreneurs to come into the co-creation space for free. So we also run a lab, which is more of a technology lab that's focused on web development, software development, and we provide also a lot of services. We are actually consulting for some international NGOs like Africans Rising, where we do management of their website. We also consult for the Centers for Human Rights and Democracy in Africa, where we also provide them with content development for their whole communication team. We have just so many people that we work with, even on a personal basis. There's also Welisane Foundation. We're developing their website and also helping in content development for their website. We also work in collaboration with other software companies, for example, like Kilimanjaro Systems, where we actually work with them and liaise with them for the development of larger applications for different corporate clients. The Anglophone crisis has affected us in just several ways. And we are actually not the only ones that have become a victim to the Anglophone crisis. But all the same, it's been said that necessity is the mother of invention. I think that in the times of this crisis, we have rather been able to through our co-creation approach, develop better strategies that have helped us to stay in the market and still enabling us to support young entrepreneurs. There's this young entrepreneur, for example, that we met in Douala. We left Boya and went to Douala, and we started working in Douala, and we found internally displaced persons in Douala, and we picked them up and trained them on how to do hardcovers for books. And because of that, he just became so attracted to the fact that we can help them develop skills, and they have moved to Boya right now, and they are now learning further skills in graphics design, in serigraphy, and just equipping themselves. So it's also been an opportunity for us to actually fish out those young persons that are actually in need, and we can actually create impact in their lives as well. So I cannot just see the Anglophone crisis just from the problem perspective. It's true that we've lost a lot of business. It's also true that we've been closed for many days, many months, and we have not been operating effectively. But at the same time, we have also been able to do some work that has created impact.
Okay, I'm Makalunge, and I'm an artist. Spoken word artist, to be specific. Inspirational spoken word artist. I'm also the creator of Inspire Me, which is an audiovisual content production, publishing and marketing enterprise, and the founder and leader of Stro Academy Africa. I'm currently also the community manager for Jongo Hub, which is a business development center here based in Boya, Cameroon. Jongo Hub is about startups, and in entrepreneurship, every current entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur or older entrepreneur would admit that there is always a need for inspiration, there is a need for encouragement, there is a need for a drive, and all of those things come when the right words get into your mind. So the whole spoken word art, it's about really resounding those words in the mind of a person so that they can keep on believing in the possibility of change and the beauty of their dreams. So those words are there to keep them on the right mindset while they produce what
they all desire to produce in their businesses?
Yeah. The first thing is that Jongo Hub exists in an ecosystem, which is a particularly an innovation and technology ecosystem, which is called the Silicon Mountain. And within that space, within that ecosystem, we just have so many partners with whom we work together to achieve our goals and objectives, right? But beyond that, we have other other organizations that support our goals, that support our objectives. For example, Africans Rising is supporting us with building our digital capacities and especially training us on digital rights and digital security. And Africa Rising is, for example, going to train one of our staff, one of our mentors. That training is going to be next week in Tanzania. They're going to be training them on digital security. And these are the things we want to transfer among our startups in our especially those who are here and working as activists and building different programs for change. So we have these kinds of collaborations. I'm also in the network, the Commonwealth Alliance of Young Entrepreneurs in West Africa, which is actually also supporting this. In fact, Jongo Hub and our organization, Global Entrepreneurship Corps, is actually a founding member of that organization, and they also provide a lot of, the Commonwealth is so much in support of what we are doing here in Boya and in Cameroon. We also have the IYLA, International Young Leadership Assembly, which is also a global movement of young persons that are creating change all over the world. I'm actually connected to that organization as a global ambassador. And we are also, this organization is also so much in support with what we are doing here among young persons in Cameroon and Africa.
Okay, I'm called Efansa Simon Balimba. I'm an entrepreneur by lifestyle and a business development consultant by occupation. Okay, right now I'm into running strategic operations at Jongo Hub. I'm assisting the executive director of Jongo Hub to run strategic operations. And so far, we have been doing a great job at that level. Well, I am very, very satisfied with the kind of job that I'm doing for Jongo Hub and with Jongo Hub, because, as I said earlier, I'm an entrepreneur by lifestyle, and with a hub like Jongo Hub that is aimed to transform ideas into profitable businesses. I think with what we are doing with the startups in Jongo Hub, it makes me very, very satisfied, because I want to be one of the people who made change in Cameroon and Africa at large. Okay, if I leave here today, the next plan or the first plan that I will be taking is to increase the engagement of startups coming into Jongo Hub is to, first of all, push the call of startups, because we have already launched a call of startups. So I'll first of all push that agenda to make sure that more startups apply for their startup to be incubated into Jongo Hub. And I think from there, when we have gotten the pool of startups, we can start our due diligence and scrutiny. And I think at that point, we can start doing what we will do best at Jongo Hub.
I'm called Mr. Nyomi Bless, and I'm the founder and CEO of Trans Delivery Limited. I think being a startup, you need the support of a hub, the experience, the know-how, and as well as to create networks so as to enable you gain resources to your startup, but more importantly, to learn. Jongo Hub being a cradle of innovation and being one of the leading hubs in Silicon Mountain, I believe it's wise enough for me to identify myself and merge with creative mind thinkers as well, so as to disrupt and bring solutions to the emerging problems we are facing in our economy and our country, Cameroon. Firstly, they provided us a space, working an enabling environment for us to handle our operations. I think that is needed as a startup for now. As well, we benefit from some other resources like training, free trainings as well, advice, coaching, mentorship. So I think being here is amazing. It's an opportunity which we can never, pay for. But then we are grateful being under the umbrella of Jongo Hub. I've been able to share my benefits from Jongo Hub with about 3 startups that I know of so well. But we can do to share, but to convince and for the decisions for other startups to join it has to be made by them. But then we sell out the benefits which we enjoyed from the hub. So definitely I've been able to share the information with other startups so as to at least join me here and enjoy what I'm enjoying. We are in an ecosystem, and networking is very important. And my company, Trans, is not an island. So to help other startups is to teach them what I've learned from Jongo Hub, firstly, and then secondly, to have a business ties with them. That's to create business relationship with them, give them the support that they need. With my experience, with my knowledge, with my network, try to share that with them so as to as well put them on their feet and then get them going. Just like how Jongo Hub is doing to my own business and how I have my amazing friends here with me that are also doing.
I am Inoninje Ephraim, the HR, Human Resource Manager of Trans Delivery. Now, at Jongo Hub, right, we have amazing people. We have startups who are also tech experts. I remember the other day here, we had a problem with a phone that we were trying to set up, and there was an assistant from one of our fellow worker here who is also a startup, also helped us. That is the assistance we get, we work as a team, forgetting the fact that we are independent startups, but we work as a team to see ourselves grow. That's the benefit first that we have. And secondly, we learn a lot. We are in a very convivial environment. The fact that we are liaising together, like we are discussing, helps me build my IQ because there are many things I don't know about tech. And just being at Jongo Hub, I've learned a whole lot,
I'm Miss Sonia Nkongo, and I'm presently studying cybersecurity, and I'm from the Jangi team, part of parcel of Jongo Hub in Douala. As we all know, Jongo Hub is an incubator. It incubates startups, and Jangi is a startup fintech, and we're working with Jongo Hub for them to incubate us and bring us up to maturity. Yes, I'm very satisfied because they have provided us with a space in Douala, and also they also give us free training where we pitch and so many more things.
What are these many more things?
All right. They provide us with training, as I said. They provide us with more workers. Yeah, that's it. My efforts, actually talking to people about Jongo Hub and its activities is actually paramount. The first thing that I do, and also trying to give them every detailed report of what Jangi is actually going through in order to help them facilitate our growth. Jangi is actually a fintech company, startup, as I earlier said, and Jangi is a digital robo-advisor which is aimed at creating and managing digital financial assets for its users. Actually, Jangi is here to turn an ordinary man into an accredited investor. You're welcome. We want you to just read, just subscribe with us, work with us. There are no shares available right now.
All right. Let's wait and see the future.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
About how startups and how ventures and civil society activists can join this our change maker movement is really easy. First of all, our doors are always open for anyone that hears about us. So we always ensure that over different mediums, different media, people can get us, especially on social media, and know what we are doing, and they can call us and book an appointment to register their ventures. But every year we actually send out a call whereby we are asking young entrepreneurs to submit their business idea. They come here for a business idea, a pitching session where we listen to them, and then we look at those ideas that are workable, and we recruit them into our incubator and start working with them from there. And for those ones whose ideas are not yet appealing, we focus on bringing them into that co-creation session where we help them learn how to develop ideas, generate ideas that can create impact. So Jongo Hub is always very open at any time, every season, in spite of the fact that we have that. But we also have what we call the Jongo Project, which is focused on pulling out young persons, especially those who are affected by the conflict. You know, we pull them out from the communities that are most vulnerable and most affected by the conflict, and we provide them skill training in specifically digital skills and creative art skills. It depends on their orientations and choices. But we want them, we are focused, it's a way of combating violent extremism by helping them acquire these digital skills so that they could convert into more useful persons in society. So this often, we always do that by identifying them through other civil society organizations that work with us. For example, the Centers for Human Rights and Democracy in Africa. We also have organizations like Reach Out. We also have other organizations like the Blessing Associates for Women and Children that's also working so much with these affected areas. So we identify these IDPs and we identify these people, especially young men and women who are prone to violent extremism, and help them acquire these skills.